Hello everyone and welcome to Lesson 7 of Piano Video Lessons Note Speller Workbook. This lesson is in no way intended to be your first lesson on notes on the grand staff. This lesson is going to cover all of the notes from low G to high F in bass and treble clefs. In lessons 1 and 2 we broke it down for treble clef. In lessons 3 and 4 we broke it down for bass clef. And again, these are intended to be review lessons. If you are learning your notes for the first time, I recommend the Note Reading Crash Course, where I will teach you the notes one by one with plenty of practice for each note. But you're here now, so I'm assuming that you already know or are familiar with the notes in the treble and bass clef. So what we're going to do is just quickly identify what we're talking about here, and we're talking about the 4 notes in the treble clef, which are the space notes, F, A, C, and E. And they spell the word face, and they're found on F, A, C, E in the treble clef. We're also talking about the space notes in the bass clef. And the space notes in the bass clef are A, C, E, G, or All Cows Eat Grass. And they are found on the piano in the space notes A, C, E, and G. We are also talking about the line notes in the treble staff, which are 5 of them, found on the lines like this: E, G, B, D, F, or Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge. And they are found here on the alternating keys between the space notes on the treble clef. We are also talking about these 5 bass clef notes, E, G, B, D, F, and A, and they are found on either side of the space notes in the bass clef, G, B, D, F, and A. All right, so 18 notes. We're talking about 18 notes right now. So I'm just going to sweep this away and have a look at the worksheets. These are available for print for currently $1.25 at PianoVideoLessons.com, and the answer keys are also provided. So here we go, looking at these notes from bottom to top. First we need to locate them on the piano just so we know what we're talking about. This is a lot of notes, so it's enough to play a good many songs on the piano. And you can see that there are still a few that we haven't learned. We didn't learn these 2 yet, B and D, and we haven't learned anything that goes beyond the staff. Those will be coming up in the next lessons on ledger lines. So what you can do first of all is you can connect the notes just like we've done in the past here, making associations between what the note looks like on the staff and which key it's on, line notes and space notes alternating. And you can see that I have made the line notes in blue and written them slightly higher here, and the space notes in black and made them slightly lower just to help them stand out a little bit. So you can go ahead and connect all of the notes to the keys and also associate them here on your piano. There's too many here to practice individually. But then the other thing that we could do is we could practice drawing these notes on the staff, just getting really used to how to write notes and being super careful to draw them carefully so we can definitely tell if it's a space note because it doesn't cross any lines, or which line note it is because it only circles around one line and doesn't touch the others. So continue until you have drawn all 18 of these notes. You could even draw middle C if you want to. Don't draw it like that. If you're going to draw middle C, your ledger line from the treble staff should be the same distance away from the staff as these other lines are from each other. Don't drop it way down here. Same thing with if you're drawing it in the bass staff. It should be located close to the staff, not floating far away from the staff. Okay, so here we go. We've got lots of exercises in this booklet, and it's going to be the same method that we've been using in all of the lessons up to now. So we have 4 pages here of practice. This should give you lots of practice on all of these notes. What I want you to do first is I want you to point to each note and say its letter name. So here we go. F, E, B, D, E, G, G, C. Now, anytime you're not sure what the note is, simply look it up on the chart, match it up with the one you're looking at, and then say its name. A, E, F. There's an answer key provided, so you can just simply look up the answer if you're not sure, or also refer to the chart. You should do this until it's automatic. You can just look at the note and say its name. Every one of these notes, say its name. No problem identifying the name of the note. The next step is to use the same page, depending which page you're on, there's 4 of them, and go back over it now with step 2, which is to name the note and play it on the keyboard. So here we have treble clef, bottom space, and it's F. Bass clef, space 3, and it's E. Bass clef, line 2, and it's B. Treble clef, line 4, D. Now, obviously, you won't have bingo chips on your keys, at least I don't imagine you will. It's possible. So you'll have to be a little bit more discerning, and you may more frequently want to reference this chart. In fact, you may want to have it in your hand, and you might want to say bottom line G, G, matching it up carefully with its location on the staff. So G could be here, or it could be here. This one would be top space G in bass clef. So being super careful to check out each note each time. F, E, line 2, B, line 4, D, space 4, E, bottom line, G. So continue until you can easily and quickly say each note and play it accurately without question. A, E, F, B, A, C, G. You want to be able to recognize these notes and play them. Take as many repetitions as you need. If you find it's hard to name them and play them, perhaps you want to go back to step 1 and just name the notes as you point to them. So now step 3 is to write the names of these notes here on the page. This is sort of a last step. You don't need to do this until you've really learned them all. And of course there's an answer key so you can check your work. And once you've written the answers in, we really can't go back and do steps 1 and 2 without reprinting the page. So feel free to reprint the page, or maybe you're working from a tablet, you can just put up your blanks and practice playing the notes quickly and saying their names. All right, so that is all these first 4 pages of the worksheets are all going to be practicing naming and playing the notes. And then last of all, we're going to write the notes on the staff. We're going to write as many examples of each letter name as we can find using all lines and spaces of the staff. So for example, these first 2 are done for you, and now moving on to E. I know there's an E in the top space of treble clef, and there's an E on the line here, and there's an E in the 3rd space of the bass clef. So I'm writing every E that I can find on all of the lines and spaces in treble and bass, and we can check our answers on the answer key. Again, downloadable for $1.25 at PianoVideoLessons.com, and this was lesson 7, and now in lesson 8 we're going to move on to work on the ledger lines in the bass staff. So please join me for lesson number 8, and I'll see you in the next video.